What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today, when I talk to you about SoFi, I want to go over some expectations for this upcoming week, what might cause some volatility in the stock price, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, as far as data points, not a lot coming out this week. It is a shorter week. So Tuesday, market closes at 1. And then on Wednesday, markets close in lieu of Christmas. So Merry Christmas to all that celebrate. Aside from that, though, government shutdown was kind of resolved on Friday. A lot of people are saying that this is going to cause a good kind of bump up in the stock price. I kind of disagree. Historically, whenever this does happen, it kind of rectifies the damage that this did to the market, but this didn't really do all that much. As far as damage, I think there were some fears on Friday, but that's basically it. So I don't see this being a big deal. But as far as this upcoming week, it's going to be more technical driven. And in SoFi's case, that's kind of a good thing. I'm going to go over that near the end of the video. But one thing that I do really look at is what big money is doing, not just with SoFi, but across the board. So these are some of the biggest option trades that was completed on Friday. And there is one very common denominator, even though it's across a lot of different sectors. There's a lot of money betting that there's going to be a nice positive reversal on Friday. And so the momentum from Friday is going to carry forward. So again, something to kind of keep in mind. But in SoFi's case, the options activity that was done on Friday is kind of pointing for it to be roughly around that $17 to $18 range. You have some kind of spurts of optimism for it to be around that $19 range, but you have to also factor in it is a shorter week. So I think in reality, between 17 and 1750 is somewhat achievable, but at the same time, you're going to have shorts fairly active. So 12.46% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 132.57 million shares overall are being shorted. Shorts returned 235,000 shares on Friday. So that was kind of a quick 180. I don't think a lot of people really anticipated that, but all in all, pretty good stuff. A lot of volatility did come on Friday, like it hit that crazy point. But one thing that as well that might really affect SoFi is there was a new rating that just came out. Not necessarily the best. And we already do know what happens with bearish ratings with SoFi. They take them into consideration. Any bullish ones just get disregarded. So there was a new one that it shows yesterday, meaning Friday, but it was just posted now. So $13 sell rating by Morgan Stanley. Jeffrey, who has a 33% success rating. So that's kind of comical. It's better just flipping a coin. But the last two ratings that did come out, there was a downgrade, Bank of America. That rating or analyst has a 65% success rating. So Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, and clearly don't like SoFi, so largely direct competition. So yeah, it's kind of funny, but still haven't really heard from these two stooges. So you have Compass Point Juliana, who has a 56% success rating, and then also Wedbush David, who has a 45% success rating. So most likely, if SoFi does kind of trend down a little bit, that is where I see these two little slimy bastards coming out with bad ratings just to kind of hit SoFi where it hurts. Somehow, I don't know why, and I don't think anyone really has a good explanation for it, but whenever David seems to give a rating as crazy as it is, a lot of his bad ratings, it really causes a lot of disruption within SoFi. So I don't know what's the basis of that, but beside the point, 1535, that's where it closed at. It is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So 1455 is going to be that next strong kind of support. 1683 followed by 1825 is going to be that next strong kind of resistance slash target points. So let me know your thoughts on that, but quickly going over to the actual chart itself. So as of right now, it is below that ALMA. So $15.47, that is going to be a very key point that SoFi does need to get above. It's very close, but still, in order for it to continue its trend up, it needs to get above that. Flip side, of course, there was a hell of a lot of volatility on Friday, but like I've stated, watch for that super trend of $14.38. If it does break below that, then this is where you're going to have the algorithms working against SoFi. Hasn't really been like that for a while, but generally you can kind of see when it does break lower and the algorithms are kind of moving against SoFi, this is where it does regrettably go down on average roughly like 20 something percent, especially that 50-day moving average as well. So I think in general, with of course this week largely being more of a technical driven week, I think SoFi does have a lot of good opportunity to really move higher, but at the same time, you're going to have the market really digesting that new crappy rating, so $13. And then aside from that, shorts probably will start pouncing, in my opinion. So I think in reality, you won't be seeing a crazy new 52-week high this week. Most likely, you'll just kind of see it within a certain trading range. So probably above this R1 of 1683, but I don't see a new 52-week high this week. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I think a little bit of consolidation for SoFi is still good. One thing to take note of is that you have seen a little bit more of a reduction in the frequency of transactions on the secondary market. I've brought that up in the past. You're still seeing a ton of big money really looking at SoFi, but the frequency isn't necessarily there. So as of right now, algorithmic trading has been making up a majority of the volume for SoFi. So again, this is why I do bring it up, because it does play a very big part in the movement of SoFi, as well as shorts. But shorts, I think, have been kind of losing quite a lot. So it's good to kind of see them lose their asses. Just in the last 3 months, they've probably lost around, what was it, like 1.6 billion? No, 1.5 billion, something like that. So it's good to see them lose finally, because I think they kind of largely dominated 2023 and the first half of 2024. So it's good to kind of stiff it to them, if that makes sense. So all in all, let me know your viewpoint on SoFi. Do you think it is going to break higher to roughly like 1750 based on the options, or do you think it is going to kind of pull back? On a side note, just so you're aware, the bears are anticipating for it to be sub roughly around 1450. So they are anticipating for it to kind of tread below that pivot point right here. So let me know your thoughts on SoFi. Hopefully everyone's having an amazing weekend thus far. Give yourself a shout out if you have been buying, if you've been selling, and what you've been doing. The only thing I've been really doing with SoFi lately, not buying any stock, I've just been selling puts. So if it does continue to dip, then essentially I will be buying more shares through that. I really like selling puts. I think I've explained that quite a lot. So last week I did a lot at 1450 as well as 14. So all of that did expire worthless, meaning I get to keep the premiums. That's why I like at the end of the day. So yeah, definitely take the time to research options. I do stress that quite a lot because I think a lot of investors just don't understand options. But regardless, let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon, where I'm giving buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolute bangers, so pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.